Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to video message number 29.
The Beezer.
We got a call about lewd behavior on the boardwalk, and you the only thing I see around here that could qualify.
How is this?
lewd.
I'm not a lewd at all. I don't even know what... Lube or lewd?
Oh, that's nice.
Listen up, the ratings just came in for last month. We are #1. We just grabbed every key demographic.
Super duper. That's nice. Way to go. Neato, gang.
Yes.
Boy, that is good news.
It is the 13th day of November, 2024. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Power Trip Morning Show. Wednesday, Parrish, Grammar, Cast of Thousands. What else are we going to do? Who the hell knows? Let's get her started and find out together, shall we? Here's what we're going to do. Some comedy right now from Kathleen Madigan on gambling apps on the Power Trip Morning Show on Wednesday. Now you, come on in. I am glad you are here.
I did teach myself how to gamble on my phone. That was pretty exciting. Yeah. DraftKings, BetMGM, FanDuel, all of them. But here's a little warning. If you have an addictive personality, just a little recommendation, I would turn the notifications off because that is 100% the devil's doorbell. Every 5 seconds, bing! Hey, Kathleen, there's a cricket match starting in Mumbai in 4.5 minutes. Do you want to get a bet in? Yes. I don't even know I have played cricket, but there's only 2 teams. I got a 50-50 chance right out of the gate. Set it down. Literally 4 minutes later, bing! Hey, Kathleen, there's a women's tennis tournament starting in Eastern Europe. Would you like to bet on individual players? Yes, any lady that ends in OVA. I want $50 on all the OVAs. Surely one will win, and then I'll cover that bet.
You can guarantee I'm going to put a cap in your ass the first time to make you squirm around on the ground. Mayhem, murder, and bull.
The finish line is waiting. Fate is on your side. You hear the distant thunder.
Don't you hate it when that's happening?
In your stride.
We're almost halfway through November. We're halfway through the week, which means Mark Parrish is here. It's Wednesday on the Power Trip Morning Show. Hi, Mark.
Hello, Corey. How we doing this morning, guys?
Pretty good. That's Meat Sauce. You know him, right?
I met him once or twice.
Guy behind you is Chris. You see Chris back there? That's Chris.
Love you, brother.
I'm Corey. There's Zachary. Zachary's back healthy.
Hi,
Healthier?
Healthier.
Healthier. You sound great still.
Deep throat.
Yeah.
I could barely talk last night. I was so sick all day yesterday.
It's going around here, man.
Yeah, it's because you won't stop kissing me.
Yeah. Well,
And licking the microphone.
irresistible as all hell.
Thank you for saying that. I appreciate that.
Since I got to work
sick.
the next 3 nights, I'm not making out with you, Zach. Sorry.
Damn it.
Next 3 nights.
Yeah.
Like you have a choice, Parrish.
Well, I'm trying to talk him out.
What do you got today?
Sorry, not today. Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Got it. Starting tomorrow.
Starting tomorrow.
Got it. So you got, Wild and Canadians tomorrow?
Nope. I got
NHL Network?
NHL Network tomorrow. I'll be out there for NHL Now for the next couple days from 5 to 7 here.
Is NHL Now recorded?
Yes.
Brilliant.
Some of it.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Parrish, we had Tommy Ryman on the show yesterday.
Yeah.
And he was talking about how he does comedy shows in Chicago once in a while. But one of the clubs there doesn't understand that he doesn't live in Chicago. That he once in a while should be like, oh, cool, we'll book you for Friday. He's like, well, how am I going to get there?
Yeah.
And it's like, I live in Minneapolis. Oh. And I told him the story about when you first got hired by the NHL Network. She was like, cool, I'll see you down there this afternoon. And you're like, how do I get there? And she said, just drive over.
Yeah.
You go, I don't live in New York. I live in Minneapolis.
Yeah.
So they hired you having no idea that you still didn't live in Long Island.
Yeah. No, it was kind of funny. I for a couple seconds there, I was like, ruh-roh, is this a deal breaker here?
Surprised it isn't. Right. They thought they had somebody that could get to the studio themselves. And
You on the phone again, bitch?
Right.
And
they had to pay for flights and hotels.
Yep. Yeah.
Should have been a deal breaker.
Yeah, it should have been.
They must really like you.
Yeah, I got some pictures.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, they don't have a choice.
Of who?
That's for me to know and you to maybe find out.
Yikes. This is where if I knew who you worked with, I would have a joke, but I'm not super familiar with the panel.
He works with Michael Strahan.
Oh, so you work with Strahan?
Yeah, well, there's a Michael Rupp.
Santa Rosa.
Santa Rosa, yeah. Carlos Pena.
Yep.
You just said Santeria?
Pedro Martinez.
Oh, sure, I know Pedro Martinez.
Practices Santeria.
John Smoltz.
Yep.
He's a good golfer.
And these guys,
Santeria?
versatile.
Oh, John
Yeah,
Smoltz.
very, very.
A man is behind bars after he was found living in the crawl space above an elderly woman's home.
Wait.
Oh, God. So how old is this gal? Like
That's
40,
she's
45?
93.
Oh, 93.
Now check this out. Here's the bitch, right? Not her. Here's the thing. She was telling people, I keep hearing things. And they were like, well, you're 93.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah, right? Yeah,
Right?
sure.
And she was like, no, a-holes.
No.
I'm telling you, I hear somebody up there going, rah, rah, rah. It's Grimace. Nope. Hamburger. So they finally checked after they were like, all right, somebody better check because the old grandma here won't shut her mouth. They're not nice to her.
Yeah.
Clearly not.
And they found the dude living up there and they had to use tear gas to get him out.
Yeah, this is the kind of lady that would go on some radio show and go, I have a ghost in my house. He talks to me when I'm in my bedroom. And I'd be like, for God's sakes, what is wrong with this lady? No, they talk to me. No, they don't, lady. God dang it.
And then you realize there's Zach
Oh, Zach.
talking to that old lady, watching her undress.
Gotta live somewhere.
Gotta live somewhere.
Yeah. I'm sorry, but the ghost in my house has laryngitis.
It's okay.
He won't stop talking to me, and he's very sick, and I keep making him soup.
I'll tell you the catalyst of the game.
You can tell me that, but please lay down and take a nap, little ghosty.
It's gonna be 35 tomorrow for the high.
Do ghosts take naps? Is that ectoplasm dripping from my ceiling?
God.
You said I could say anything, so do any of these effers.
Yeah.
It's one of the best.
One of the greatest ever.
Tim Robinson. Have you watched any more of the Detroiters? Since
No, I only watched one episode.
I've watched about 4 or 5 now. It's not nearly as funny as I Think You Should Just Leave, but I think you should leave, or I think you should just leave. I always forget.
You should leave.
I think you should leave.
Yeah, yeah. No, I don't know the name of the show. I just
just in general.
Yeah,
That's
just in
for
general.
all of us.
Go away, please.
It definitely has those kind of moments, though, once in a while, just super cringe comedy moments where they just put themselves in ridiculous spots. So I like it. I'm going to keep going. It's only a couple seasons.
Sweet.
But it does make me want to rewatch
people getting it on.
Yeah.
an old lady screaming at the ceiling thinking there's ghosts in there.
Did you ever watch Shameless?
No.
I did.
He lived that way.
Is it good? It's good till about the 5th season. Then it's just, and this is real good coming from me. Then it's just the same thing over and over again.
Okay.
The first couple seasons are great.
Because we're starting to get like the YouTube recommendations of clips and stuff on the shorts.
Well, they still haven't found what they're looking for.
Yeah.
And
brilliant. Yeah. Watch it on Sunday, bloody
and like
Sunday.
I get a bunch of those clips down. I'm like, do I want to dedicate my life to that? Because it's like 12 episodes a season.
It's all right.
But it looked good.
If you don't dedicate your life to that, what are you going to dedicate it to?
The crawl space and ectoplasm.
Mexican food.
Is that how you got sick?
It's the name of my first comedy album.
You got the name. When you going to write the comedy?
Yeah.
First things first, all right?
Yeah.
Oh, no. The hell's going on here? Excessive drinking habits are up.
Heavy alcohol use jumped by 20% in 2020 during the worst of the COVID-19 pandemic and continued to increase into 2022. That's according to a study published in the Annals of Internal Medicine.
Oh, I could have told you that. I could ask.
Well,
you.
yeah.
I drank like a fish.
Well, I was going to say, I know in 2020 there was people just kept checking in and checking in and checking in to the same facility I was in 2020.
Right. I need a number, by the way, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Not necessarily for drinking, but for life in general.
Oh, it's a wonderful place.
Yeah.
6 weeks, just take care of you.
I find that
Guys
I
are
like
pool, pickleball.
I like donuts and boobies.
Donuts and boobs.
In that order.
Not in that order always.
No, yesterday it was definitely not in that
I was speaking
order.
for myself. I'd rather have a donut at this point.
Would you really?
What kind? What's your perfect donut?
Can't have cream in it.
No.
Gross.
Yeah, that's what you tell us on the air.
Did we tell you about Tommy and his donut?
No. That was, again, hockey off the air.
I didn't say. I asked a question.
No, but you were going to tell him.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you. When I tell you, Parrish,
I can't wait.
You're doing great with your sobriety, but you might want to check back in after you hear about this.
Bad.
You just want to hide.
I don't know if I've heard that one. Sauce, to answer your question, I would probably go the apple cider donuts from Orchards in the fall.
We went to
the best kind of donut.
We went to one of those that's like the Apple Orchard Arboretum where it's just the store because I wanted to get a couple apple pies for Thanksgiving. They were out of those.
Remember in the day?
Out of the donuts or out of the pies?
Out of the donuts, or I would have brought some.
Remember back in the day when he made his own pies?
Yeah, but blueberry pie isn't really a Thanksgiving thing.
Oh.
But that's how you were trying to pick chicks up at bars. Right, like at what's the place down at the Loon?
The Loon.
Instead of just going down to the Loon and going, hey, my name's Paul. What's your name? You would just walk up to a lady and go, can I buy you a grape ape and bake you a pie? And some of them were like, I guess. I don't know what's happening.
Remember when he said to that one lady, I'll trade you my pie for your pie.
Right.
I said that?
You did. You were wasted. Remember you were on an Amtrak train?
Yeah.
Track?
Yeah. I've been on a train once.
You've been in a train once?
No, not
Call
that.
Tommy. He'll
Not
give you
that.
tips.
In an actual Amtrak train.
Hey, Perry?
Yeah.
When you go out to lovely and talented New Jersey, are the gas prices ridiculous? Have you ever noticed that?
I got to be honest with you. I've never paid attention, but I will check it out this week.
I was, when we were out there.
Probably everything's out there expensive.
Crazy. When we were out there to play the Giants, who did we play this year? The Jets.
No, the Giants.
Giants, you're right, sorry. I noticed when we were riding the bus to the hotel, the gas prices were like $4 a gallon for the 87.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the cost of living out there is obscene. Yeah. There's millions of people, and they know they're going to continue to have millions and millions of people. So yeah, it's pretty crazy. But I definitely have to check that out.
Yeah, I don't know why that came to mind. Oh, I do know actually.
I don't know why I haven't ever
that,
noticed. It's been a few years.
Yeah, well, you just probably Uber the whole time you're there, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Oh, must be nice.
Yeah. Well, I don't have a car.
Must be nice is Musk's rap name.
Muskie.
Well, that's a different career of his name.
Anybody listen to Musk's show last night?
Anybody know what Zach just said?
Yeah, I know. Name.
Oh.
The what is it called? Vikings Country, right?
Yeah.
He had Ivan Pace Jr. on.
What channel is
did
that
he really?
on?
As opposed to Ivan Pace Sr. That would have made less sense.
Yeah, it would have been.
It'd be a fun interview.
So he had Ivan Pace on, and I was only half listening. So maybe Zacho, maybe you can find this audio. It was like towards the end of the show. It might have been at the end of the show. He was going through some of his teammates, and he used one of the nicknames for one. Like he called him like Hottie. And Musk goes, "Wait a minute, who's Hottie?" And Ivan goes,
He doesn't know his real name.
And he paused and he goes, oh man, I'm forgetting his real name. He goes, I just call him Hottie. He goes, and then Musk was like, oh, don't worry about it. And then the show ended. He couldn't think of the guy's actual name. So I'm like, I don't even know who he's talking about. He couldn't think of the guy's real name because he calls him the nickname so often. This is his teammate.
Yeah.
No idea.
That's happened to me a couple times when I've gotten traded. Really? And ran into a new teammate with my wife and family.
You're like, this is
Tomer right here.
This is Tomer.
I could not remember his name. I didn't even know his name. I was just,
Still don't.
I still don't remember.
Honey, kids, this is Long D.
God,
I
felt so bad. That was a fun conversation the next day in the locker room.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah, that didn't get brought up.
If somebody was listening to Vikings Country last night with Muss and Ivan Pace and heard what I'm talking about, tweet at PowerTripKFAN. Who was he trying to talk about, and what was the nickname? I think it was Hottie. I don't know if it was like Hottie or
HODD.
Maybe it was Jihad Ward. Is that what he was going for?
I bet.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only thing I can think of. But
Defender, I bet it was him. That makes sense to me.
Maybe.
Yeah.
It almost has to be. But even so, and that's maybe a name that he forgets.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just calls him Hottie.
That's pretty good.
Who? Must accidentally put him in the worst possible spot.
Oh, yeah.
Way to go, Muskie.
Total accident. Didn't know he wasn't going to know the guy's name.
No, yeah.
Yeah, why would Muss know that?
No, Muss doesn't know where he is.
No. Muss is just there for the Miller Lite.
100%.
I don't know.
We're on the air.
I don't know where any of you guys
do
live.
a beer bong?
Mm-hmm.
And if I didn't have my phone on, I wouldn't be able to call you. So
True.
I don't know anything about you guys.
Yeah.
Sauce, what percentage do you think you know about my life, Mark's life, Chris's life, Zach's life?
That's
you said
a very good question, Corliss.
Yeah. If
how much do you truly know about Mark Parrish? What percentage would you say?
Probably 20%.
What about me?
Probably 50.
What about Hawk?
Probably 95.
That's probably true. What about Zach?
I think you know.
Yeah, well.
What about Zacho?
1? No, I know a good amount about Zacho.
Let me ask you a question.
78?
No, let me make a statement. How about that?
Hey, first of all, if you really knew Zach, that's not the number you would guess. So you don't really know. There you go.
Point. If somebody said, "Oh my God, you need to perform a wellness check on Corey," I'd have to go to Plymouth and stand in the middle of the street and go, "Corey!"
Yeah.
Because I know that's the city you live in.
And I'd crawl out of the ditch and I'd be like, "Thank you for checking on me."
I could
you know
get
more
you
about
there.
me than you know.
I don't remember a single street name.
No, same. I could get you in the vicinity, but every time I've ever been there, I have to either call them and be like, "Where is this again?" I always get lost.
Yeah,
you have to drive over the moat.
Yeah.
And then just have the guards lower the gate.
Yeah. And Sauce, you know way more than 20% of me. Yeah, I'll try. What's my brother's name?
Gino.
What did I study in college?
Hockey.
What's my favorite thing to do?
Nap.
Well, that's like 80%.
Oh my God,
right there.
you know everything about
ask
me.
me what your
Are you
favorite
guys
thing to do
married?
again is.
What's my favorite thing to do?
Pick up Rosen's tab.
What's his wife's name?
Nikki.
Okay.
See,
it's not that hard.
Ain't so bad.
You just learn wives' names.
Yeah, Zach was asking because he didn't remember.
It's not hard.
I know Mickey very well.
Brilliant.
More of the Power Trip Morning Show after this episode.
Hey, Hogs.
Yes, sir.
That last segment was brought to you by my good friends at Gutter Helmet MN and GutterHelmetMN.com. Never clean your gutters again.
Oh, Paul, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
I love you, Paul.
Oh, thanks, lady.
The swearing, Paul.
Oh, sorry. I can stop.
I'm sorry, Paul. This is all wrong.
Why?
She was reading your book.
Oh, it's a lot of grammatical errors.
No, it's just the spelling.
Oh.
Fiction or nonfiction?
Yes.
Both.
What is it more of?
Fiction.
Which one is the truth?
Fiction. Non-fiction.
Sure?
No.
Which one? Which one's made up and which one is the truth?
Non-fiction is the truth. Fiction is made up.
Paul? You did something right.
Thank you. Thank you.
What would you write about if you were writing a book of fiction?
I'd probably write a book about a man that lives on the sea.
SEA?
Amen,
SEA.
brother.
No, Hawk. Amen, brother.
And what does he do on the sea?
He just lives out to sea.
He lives out to sea.
This is not like a copyright infringement on The Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway.
Sounded like that.
The guy who lives in a pineapple under the sea.
No, it's not under. No.
So you're saying so far there's a guy who lives out onto the sea or whatever you just said, and you're worried about
it's French.
If you make a guy travel by boat out to sea, that somehow you have committed copyright infringement?
I guess.
So no one else is allowed to write about a man going to sea?
I don't think so. Not since Ernest Hemingway did.
No one's done it.
No. Is that a good
Got
book,
it.
Hogs?
Best, my favorite of all time.
Is it really?
The Old Man and the Sea is my favorite #1 book all time. And that's not me
what's-
trying to be cool. That's the truth.
What's the gist of it? I honestly
it's
don't know
about
the.
getting old and not wanting to face the fact that you're getting old, and then finally realizing that your big fish is life in general, and you've been battling that big fish your whole life, and then eventually you got to just admit that you're fallible and you're a human being.
It won a Pulitzer.
It's the greatest book of all time.
And a Nobel Prize.
Hey, Parrish.
Yeah.
Speaking of that, I have a question for you. You're the manliest man on the morning show.
Why, thank you.
You're very welcome.
Yes.
Yeah. In fact, if we were going to do Power Trip's sexiest man, you'd probably come in second to Ben. But if we're going to do Power Trip's manliest man, you'd come in first.
What about Creasel? Creasel or Parrish?
Yeah, I got
Creasel,
I mean,
he's killed people.
Yeah, and he's kind of been through some stuff.
Yeah.
I'll
But his
gladly
big old
take
balls
two
drag him
behind
down.
Crease.
Yeah. He's
You know
got
what I mean?
huge nuts.
Yeah. Anyway, my point is this, and this is a dumb question, but I'm going to go ahead and say it. I'm going to ask you guys this, and Corey, jump in if you want. You're not manly, but I'll take your opinion.
Amen, brother.
Amen, brother.
Yeah, listen to the Hulkster.
Let's say I don't know who would do this to you. Well, let's just say Creasel. Let's say he knocked the piss out of you.
Wow.
Right hand to the chin. You don't know why. But anyway, he knocked you right out. And you woke up in a boat in the middle of Lake Superior. A tiny boat, middle of Lake Superior. If you stuck your hand in the water and tasted it, would you know you weren't on the ocean? You would, wouldn't you? Yeah.
Very much so.
Because it's not salty, right?
Exactly. Exactly.
And that's the only way you could tell that you weren't on the ocean, because the middle of Lake Superior, you got to
It's
believe you're in the middle of the
huge.
ocean, right?
Yeah, you can't see land.
Yep.
Yeah.
What would you do?
There's nothing in the boat.
There's paddles so you can row that ass.
Well, pick a direction.
Wow.
Yeah, I think that's all you can do, right? It's not like you can start a fire. You can't shoot up a flare. You don't have anything to communicate.
Well, what you do is you look where the sun is.
See, here comes Zach and his...
Listen to Darth
You mean
Vader.
Lord Jesus
East
Christ?
or west,
Yeah.
and we know the shape
And also
of
with you, Zach.
the lake. It's more east to west, so you want to go north
Can I
or south.
stop you for a second, baby?
Sure.
In my scenario, you got the piss knocked out of you and you woke up and you don't know where you are. So you don't know you're on Lake Superior. You just know you're in a large body of water.
Fair. And it might not be light out. So at least the first handful of hours, maybe you're in complete darkness.
Can you imagine that?
It's
That'd be really cold.
It's eerie being on a boat and especially you get out on a lake. Like I lived up on Leech we had a cabin on Leech for a long time. You can get up on that when you see no lights. You don't know where the land is. It's scary. You don't have any lights or anything like that.
I simply can't believe, especially Superior, but all of them are just lakes. They're so enormous.
Yeah.
You know?
What would you do, Hugs?
Probably just give up the ghost.
Same.
Just lay there.
I would just lay there and wait to die.
Why did this come up? Is this in the news? Did this happen to somebody?
No, I was reading a story about this family who got rescued by a Disney cruise ship.
Whoa.
They were on their
catamaran?
own. I guess, yeah.
I think so. I read the headline.
And I was thinking of different scenarios. If you were like if I were, and I don't like boats anyway, and I'm not the best swimmer. I can swim if I have to, but what would I do if I were off Bermuda like these folks?
Jamaica.
On a
Ooh, I
50-foot
wanna take
catamaran, 80 miles away. The ship hears them and comes and gets them, which I wouldn't expect Disney to do. And I know that's a D-word thing to say, but they're a cruise ship. They got business to do. You know what I mean? Sure, there's people dying, but 80 miles out of my direction.
Well,
if I were on that cruise ship, I'd be like,
Yeah.
But it's like the cargo ship
Not a short drive.
right?
The cargo ship that spotted Tom Hanks in Castaway.
Yeah.
That ship doesn't have to pull over either, but they see a guy floating on a pile of sticks, basically going, let's save that man.
Come sail away.
Right.
Yeah.
That pile of sticks.
Yeah. So I don't know. I was just thinking about that because I think I'm maybe overly fascinated in my old age here by Lake Superior. I don't know how much time you guys have spent there, but like if you go up the coast, like I did that one time all the way up to Thunder Bay, which is literally, I'm sorry, Thunder Bay, if you're listening, just an armpit. But,
Smells terrible.
It's just, that's a hard town.
Yeah. Paper mill there. Hoofda.
You just keep driving and driving and driving, and the waves are hitting the rocks, and you're like, holy balls, how did anybody ever live?
You know where you should go, Hawk, is Isle Royale. Isle Royale.
Is that...
It's a big-ass island in northern Lake Superior.
So you go up to the UP.
Is that on the Michigan, Wisconsin side?
It's technically in the Michigan
side, okay, yeah. I've heard of it. That's right.
It's a national park, and it's supposedly beautiful.
You know, Lake Superior sounds nice, but Superior Lake would sound pretentious.
Yes, it would.
Yeah.
If you flipped it would sound like...
you're very right.
Where do you live? Superior Lake. For whatever reason, Lake Superior sounds a little passive, which fits Minnesotans pretty well.
Yeah. Very well.
What do you think of your lake?
Well.
Oh, Lake Superior, it's fine. Yeah. We like it.
It's neat.
Well,
it's neat.
I'd like to take a moment here. We got a few of them. Let's examine the names of all the lakes because I don't want to live on Leech Lake. I'm sure it's beautiful, but all I can think of is having a leech on my penis.
Stand By Me, exactly. Once you've seen Stand By Me, you do not want to go to Leech Lake.
Did you see the muskie they pulled out of Mille Lacs?
I smell your muskiness when you walk by.
Did you see it, Parrish?
I did not
I
see
saw
that.
it, dude.
Well,
That's in the lake my folks live on. There's a sea beast in that lake.
How big are we talking here?
Hold on.
That son of a bitch is huge.
Like state record big?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean,
Sauce is looking it up. Let's see how long it takes him to Google it.
I saw it too.
Was it a muskie?
Well, in the meantime, we
54 inches.
54 inches?
Jesus.
Yeah. Freak!
That really is let me see.
Yeah, that's
it's a muskie pick. Send me one of those muskie picks.
No, it's the lake I want to live on.
Perry, come here and look at this fish.
Please tell me that joke because I don't miss that.
It's Little D Lake.
Oh, really?
Well, it's just right next to Big D Lake.
Oh, is it?
Have you ever been there?
That is.
What about maybe average
That's a
size
huge
lake?
fish.
What about Jack the Horse Lake?
Yeah, that horse is the happiest horse. And the ladies who live on that lake, huge forearms.
Yeah, which you're into.
Yeah, Chris used to live on not terrible in the right lighting lake.
Yeah, at least he's good with his face lake.
Oh, jeez.
A little on the nose.
From like 2004 through 2009, I lived on Henry Lake.
Yeah.
That's very nice.
We had property on Swamp Lake that was changed to School Lake. But yeah, you look up on maps, it was Swamp Lake.
Swamp Lake. That's like naming something Ocean Lake. Or where do you live? Oh, I live on River Lake.
That's pretty.
Got a nice spot down on Pond Lake.
I live on Road Street. Anyway, that was a weird. I'm odd today. I'm sorry, but that
was funny.
That thing being stuck out in the middle of the ocean scares the living hell out of me.
Yeah, that sounds terrible.
It would not be fun. It'd be horrifying.
God.
Which is weird because we've been on cruises, right? When you have a day at sea and you're in the middle of the ocean and can't see land in any direction, it's kind of freeing.
I love it.
No, you're surrounded by thousands of people, right? It's a cruise ship, so you don't feel unsafe, but it is kind of you're just like, man, we're way out here. Yeah. I don't know which direction I'm pointing at.
Yeah,
because I'm not paying attention to the sun like Zach is.
I'm dehydrated because of all the diarrhea.
Yeah,
right.
And drinking tequila and drinking out of a... Didn't you drink out of a hot tub once?
Once. Not a good idea. Rosie's up scoping out the chest.
Yeah, but he's saying he's not.
One of the best moments ever. Oh, I was looking. I can't find any seating. Rosie, you had a newspaper and you were headed up to the topless deck.
You wanted to look at Hooters.
We get it.
Yeah, we know, Rosie. I know, but
he
pretends.
didn't see us at the bottom of the stairs and walked right past us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Rosie! God, I can't find a seat to save my life.
Wait, there's naked people.
I was going to check up there. Rosie, that's the topless deck. Oh, it is? I was just going to read the paper. Yeah, I doubt that's where the paper was going to go.
And where did he
make a newspaper tent?
Where did he get the paper?
I don't know, but he had like some. Did he not have like a newspaper?
Yeah, he had a newspaper. He did. He absolutely did.
I don't know where he got it. That's a great question, but I'm pretty sure he had a newspaper.
It was after our first stop, I think.
Oh, maybe that's it.
Yeah, right.
Maybe they bring him on board.
Yes, sir.
Before we go, I was looking through Google Maps, some of the lakes names.
Okay, please.
There is a Suomi cemetery on the shores of Grave Lake.
Are you kidding me?
Another one, Maddie Cullen up in Detroit Lakes. It's a number. It's like Lake 6 or something like that. It was Scalp Lake.
Oh my!
Forever.
Ooh.
Oh my!
Yeah, that's
scary.
Creepy as that.
Owie.
Yeah.
Man.
Mike Grimm is here. Mike's been to every lake in Iowa.
He lived on Old Hot Diarrhea Lake.
Yeah,
yeah. That's a really tough one.
Ivan Pace calls it Hottie Lake.
Yeah. Dwight calls it Paradise.
Mike Grimm joins in a second. We'll do front page sports in a second. We'll get him his quote for the week. Well, actually, we don't have to, right? Because it's Penn State's not until next
no quote
week.
This week. He's just hanging out.
That's right. So we can actually wait a week. We can think about it for a week or so. This is the Power Trip Morning Show on the Fan.
You know where I'd like to work, I think. Of course, I don't think about the poop involved. But wouldn't it be fun to maybe
What a way to start a sentence.
Yeah,
you know where I want to work, but there's poop involved.
Yeah,
there is.
I'm very interested at the end of this.
It's got to be the
statement.
zoo?
You're close. The Wildcat Sanctuary.
The Wildcat Sanctuary. Where's that?
Yeah.
Up in Sandstone? Pert near Sandstone?
Pert near
Sandstone. I think that was a band name, by the way. But
I mean, when have we ever seen any evidence, though, of one of those big cat sanctuaries going the wrong way? They've always worked out.
Yeah, they've always worked out. Nobody's ever had a problem with them either.
Single one of them.
I believe some of his tigers did go there.
I think you're right.
Yeah, they do great work, and they're expanding because there's so many damn wildcats. It's like the Northwestern. Anybody else got a college that's the Wildcats? Kentucky, thank you. Yeah.
The Chisago Lakes Wildcats?
See, that's what I'm saying. These poor kids, they got nowhere to go when they're done.
They go to Sandstone?
They go to Pert near Sandstone.
What else is it? Wasika? Not Wasika. Where's... There's one out there in the Spartans.
The Sylvester Stallone
name. Something with
Wildcat
a W out there.
Sanctuary.
Keanu Reeves and Sandra Bullock have to deal with that because Dennis Hopper in Speed calls Sandra Bullock a wildcat because she's wearing an Arizona sweatshirt.
Oh, yeah.
Said the wildcat behind the wheel or something. And then he realizes he can see us. What?
Yeah, that's a real good one. That's a real good Keanu Reeves, by the way. Would you guys agree with me? That's real good.
That's also
Via con Dios.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's also a great film, man.
It's the greatest film of all time. Say that to my face.
The film was called Via con Dios?
No, Speed. Speed is a great film.
Speed is a very good movie. It holds up to
better than Point Break.
That is fighting words.
Yeah, I'm with Corey on that one. I'll take Point Break over Speed.
Speed is better than Point Break.
Stop talking with bad opinions.
That's all I do.
We try to tell you, dude. We try to tell you over and over again.
You're
your
wrong.
opinions are terrible.
Yeah, almost always terrible.
I'm well aware
But I
they're
still
terrible.
like to hear 'em.
But thank you, Perry. But
He doesn't. We make fun of you behind your back.
yeah, that's all right.
Grim,
And right to his face.
Speed or Point Break?
Yeah, you know what? You can't say that about Corey. He does it to your face. That's for sure.
Yeah. I mean, there's plenty of backstabbing as well, but he's also
It's
pretty
Minnesota,
frontal.
and it's iHeart.
Yeah.
That's
It's
what
so
we do.
fun to front stab.
Yeah. Point Break or Speed?
Your mic's on.
Remind me who's in Point Break.
Just
Keanu
die.
Reeves.
Would you just die?
Are you kidding me?
No. It's another famous guy, but I can't remember his name.
crazy.
Andrew
That's what his name
Ridgeley.
is.
Bodie.
I don't remember that movie very well.
Oh, my God.
You need to rewatch it.
Andrew Ridgeley from Wham?
Yep, he's in there.
Yeah, he plays Nixon.
From Wham.
Give the audio for what's the guy? The crazy guy.
Busey.
Gary Busey, yeah.
Dennis Hopper.
Wait, he says that?
I don't know. I just hit play.
Oh, hit play again.
To go about right.
I do like Sandra Bullock.
Me too.
Very nice.
You like Dennis Hopper?
Dennis Hopper is a genius.
Yeah.
There you go.
Is he dead?
Yeah, he's dead.
Is he?
Cross him
Hey,
off.
Hawk, are you pumped for St. Dennis
Major
Hospital
League.
on CBS? I think it is. Or
This
NBC?
guy's dead.
St. Dennis Medical. That
Who's he
new
talking
show.
to over there,
You.
guys? What about
Dennis
That
Hopper.
new show that's going to be on NBC about the hospital.
Oh, wait.
It's supposed to be like The
Saint
Office.
Denis. Saint Denis.
Oh, anyway.
Was that on? It premiered last night.
It did. It's
I
great.
believe. I
Did
heard
you watch it, Hawk?
I watched it
good?
twice.
It's
You did
90%
not.
on Rotten Tomatoes.
All right.
I heard
I
the
did.
promo yesterday for it, but did not watch it.
Yep. It's real good.
Did you really watch it?
I don't even know what he's talking about.
Saint Denis.
I know what you're talking about. I've seen the commercials,
Yeah.
I might need it more than her.
but I would have said
Rosie.
I would have said St. Dennis too.
Thank you.
It is a surprise St. Dennis. I just made that up too.
Yeah, I figured.
I don't know what I'm talking about.
I thought that was maybe something they said in the first episode that you watched.
I wish you'd get on a boat that was sinking.
Any boat I get on is probably going to sink.
very quickly.
Yeah, I think we solved this case.
Yeah. I'd be in Scalp Lake.
That comment right to murder.
Wow. Why do you want me dead?
I didn't say you could try to swim if you can get that giant head to float.
No. I can't swim.
I bet you can.
No, we've
Nope,
seen
he can
it.
about a lap and a half and then win me $1,000.
Swimming is not my strength.
No, what is not your strength is having to do something.
That is correct. Effort is not my strength.
That's not what I meant.
No, but it
What I
is.
meant is if it were life or death, you could swim your ass off. But if the only thing that's on the line is your pride, you got none of that.
No, I don't have any pride.
That's a great question. If the day that you had to do 10 laps and you did like 1.5 before you tapped out, if that was you have to get all 10 of these or you are going to sink to the bottom and die.
Yeah.
I think you would have done it.
Sure.
It is the fight or flight thing.
That's
I think
what I'm
it would
saying.
have kicked in.
You were capable. You just didn't want it enough.
Because it's not like you were exhausted. It was just like you just realized this is gonna be rough.
It is though.
The second you knew there was tension, it was like I got 8.5 left. This ain't gonna work.
Now this will shock none of you. I carry a lot more weight than a lot of you guys do.
Dude, we know that. We had microphones in the water. This is the water when you were swimming.
You're heavy.
Yeah, do you remember when you first jumped in?
No.
That's the actual water.
That was the water.
Those are the molecules.
That was the mirror in the bathroom when I changed.
But this is the mirror.
What a mess.
Anyway, what was I going to say?
I'm not going to shut up. I'm interrupting everybody too much. I'm sorry.
It's way harder than you think it is, right? Like if you swam, when was the last time I'm not saying you couldn't do it, Corey, don't get mad.
I didn't say anything.
No,
He's
I know.
pissed.
No, but like, when was the last time you swam?
At the Dells with the kiddo like 3 months ago.
Yeah,
but running around's different than like actually swimming.
It's a lot harder than you
side.
I can't do it. Obviously, I can't. I swam a lap and a half.
Mm-hmm.
It's way harder than you think. Swimming is very exhausting.
Yeah, but if your life depends on it, you're going to be able to go a wee bit longer.
Yeah, well,
a little bit, but at some point the fight.
Yeah,
that's why people drown. I mean,
what? Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's way harder.
It's a hard deal.
You could all swim more than I could have, obviously, but it's tough.
But like I said, we all had front row seats, and I will never forget on lap number 1 when he was swimming pretty strongly.
He had it going.
No, because he wasn't horizontal.
Yeah, my caboose.
He was at a 45-degree angle, so from like his shoulders up, right, his arms were doing everything right. But the drag on his feet were at a 45-degree angle. I'm like, buddy, you got to get flat.
No kick.
So it's way harder to pull yourself at that angle. So I'm like,
that's
like
a doggy
But
paddle.
also, though,
oh man, it was aggressive.
If you watch some of the really greats, there's not a lot of kicking. It's all
Just flutter
arms.
kicks, exactly.
It's all arms, and because kicking wears you out.
Yeah.
It's a lot of.
You sound like an aficionado here.
Well,
yeah. Man, Carly was confident. You had done a couple of training sessions.
Where was this at now? What
this
was
was at the
about?
YMCA a handful of years ago. We made a bet.
Yeah, that's right.
And I bet Carly $1,000 he couldn't do it.
Couldn't do 10 laps.
Yep.
10.
And now a lap is there and back?
I believe so.
Okay.
I think, or was it?
No. One down, one back.
So it was 5 total?
Yeah.
Just 10 lengths?
That's what we were going to do.
10
That's
lengths.
exactly right. Yeah.
$1,000.
I'll do that.
Why do I
for
feel
$1,000
But he did go down and back. You went
That's
down
right.
and back and then quit.
Yeah.
So did we count that as 1 or did we count that as 2?
I don't really remember.
Doesn't matter. Either way.
I didn't complete
Either
it.
way.
And so you won $1,000.
Yes.
$1,000 in your hand.
And it was the easiest money I've ever made in my life.
Yeah.
You knew.
Because I wasn't even really sweating it. And like I said, when he swam by me the first time and I saw him at the angle, I'm like, man, that's got to be strenuous. So I felt like it was going to be tiring. I didn't think he was going to tap out that fast. But I'm like, man, this is going to be rough at that angle.
How mad was Carly?
Not at
I think she wasn't that mad. I think she was just really surprised that it wasn't close.
And she was shook by how he looked without a shirt on.
Yeah, everybody was. Yeah. It was not my shining moment.
And because you had no money on the line, right? It was just Carly's money, but you were so depressed for yourself. That was about as down I've ever seen. Sauce just like he's hit the water and then swam to the side of the pool and just floated in his own depression for about 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I got about $40 worth of takeout and sat and watched the Masters by myself.
Now that's what you're good at.
Yeah, I am. Yeah, my wife was leaving town, so I sat and
But
watched
you were
the
right.
Masters.
If you haven't swam in a while, I had that a while ago. I was like, I'm going to join a club and swim. I took one because that's a good exercise. Like if you can
It's a great
swim,
exercise.
you're going to lose weight, do whatever, be in great shape. All the muscles get worked. I'm like, this will be great. I jumped in. Same thing, like a lap. Like, damn, this sucks.
It's tough.
Are you guys like me though? Like, and I'm not pretending I'm a good swimmer. But if I'm not sweating, I don't feel like I worked out.
But the weird part is
it's a weird thing.
But you do sweat, even though you're like in the water.
But you don't feel it. That's what Chris is saying. He doesn't feel like
then
it.
you can sweat while you recover.
Yeah. It's a great workout.
How about holiday station stores? How about them?
Holiday's awesome, and you can buy 2, get 1 free when it comes to Red Bulls right now. Just like the one you have, Mark Parrish, the 8.5 ounces.
That's where I stopped this morning.
There you go. Get a couple of Red Bulls, buy 2, get 1 free for a limited time. Thanks to our friends at Holiday. That would have been Front Page Sports. We'll get to some sports in a second, but Mike Grimm is here.
Great game by your T-Wolves last night, Corey.
My God, 21 turnovers.
Are we ever going to win this stupid NBA Cup?
No. Are they going to ever win?
How long have we been waiting for that?
Just once. I just want to win it once. Never going to do it. You almost can't afford to lose a game, right? Otherwise, you really don't get out of group play if you don't go undefeated. Pretty much.
You can't afford to lose a game by 14 to Portland.
You were kind of loser to Portland. Just a little bit of Portland. Just a spice. Just put a little bit of Portland on your basketball. You kind of lose. You're like the kind of low or the kind of lose.
What were you saying? More of the Power Trip Morning Show after this on the Fan.
The Power Hour begins at 8 a.m. It's brought to you by Quantum Fiber, your world unleashed. Head over to KFAN.com/watch.
Hey, thanks, man. Your voice today sounds like a smooth, like you ought to be doing smooth jazz down the hallway. Like introduce this person as Manny Mannix.
Coming up on the bottom of the hour on a beautiful Wednesday morning. Welcome back to Smooth Jazz 100.3. And here's the latest from whoever the hell.
Manny Mannix.
Here's the latest from Manny Mannix.
Yeah, sexy. That's sexy as hell.
Grim, you're not into jazz, right?
Not really.
Good. Parrish?
Nope.
Just checking.
I mean, jazz guitarists, they're incredible musicians. I can listen to them for a little bit.
But nails on the chalkboard otherwise, right?
Eventually,
for sure.
it's just, yes.
The opposite, it sounds like your wife, what's her name again?
Nikki.
That's right. And your daughter, what's her name again?
Gianna.
They also say 10 out of 10 for Billie Eilish. They saw Night 2.
Yes, they
Monday
did.
Night?
They saw Night 2. And it was the same as Harper. Gianna's same thing. Greatest night of her life. Best night of her life. Best show ever.
She must have run the same set, right?
Yes.
I assume it was the same set list on Monday.
Gianna looked and the whole tour is the same set. Yeah. So
all the hits. She played them all.
Yeah. They absolutely loved it. Had an amazing time.
She spent a small fortune on merch.
Yeah. Oh, I guess Merry Christmas, Gianna. With the ticket costs because we got really lucky. We got some good seats. My buddy JJ at Excel at Ticket Center. At the ticket office. Mm-hmm. Kind of waited to see if the band had any tickets left over that they handed back to them, and they did. So they got some pretty awesome seats.
Man,
I was happy to spoil. It was happy to spoil my girls.
What a show! Yeah, so cool. All right, Grimmer, let's do some sports, shall we?
We can.
We got no Gopher football to talk about, but thanks for hanging out.
Yeah.
Well, their opponent next week is now fourth.
Come on, roll over, buddy.
Okay, I will.
All right, let's do What Really Matters, scores and stats around the world of sports and in between. Chris will change your life with something else that's better.
Matters, right?
Than what I'm going to say.
Ba-da-ba-da.
Mark Parrish, check this out. For the first time in NHL history, we have a 15-1 team.
Wow.
That is incredible. The Winnipeg Jets.
Yes,
they won 6-3 over the Rangers. First team ever to be 15-1.
Whoa.
They're also 7-0-0 on the road, and in those 7 road games, they've scored 36 goals. Yeah. That is the most in NHL history for any team that has ever started 7-0. So they're putting up a ton of goals on the road.
They are very frustrated and angry about losing. Not necessarily losing to Colorado in the first round. It was just the way that they lost to Colorado. Colorado just ran them right through the building. The best defensive. They went like 30 some games in a row without giving up more than 3 goals during the regular season. Then ran into Colorado and lost in 5, and it was embarrassing for him. And they're kind of like the players here that I talked to in the summer. The same thing when I talked to those guys is they were angry, they were frustrated and ready to go this season, and want to exercise some demons, probably more in their head than anything else.
So this is sustainable, though. This team's legit. They can do this if they stay healthy. I'm just looking ahead because of the parish versus the field bet.
Yeah.
You never played for Winnipeg. I need Winnipeg to be legit to win me some money against Sauce.
All right, then, no, for sure.
Sustainable.
It's easily sustainable. They've shown they can do it. The last couple years, they have been one of the best teams in the league during the regular season.
Got it.
They just are one of those teams that somehow cannot win a playoff round.
Well, that's perfect for me.
But that being said, Hellebuck, I mean, literally, there's only 2 teams. Connor Hellebuck and Sergei Bobrovsky are the only 2 goaltenders playing that have 2 Vezina trophies for the best goaltender in the league. And Hellebuck seems the same way as the rest of the team because he was embarrassed. I mean, he gave up a ton of goals in the playoffs. So, yes, it's sustainable, but again, it's like the Carolina and the East Coast. Prove it in the playoffs. You got to win. Eventually, you got to win the series, win the playoffs, or win the cup. But do they have the team? Yeah, they got a team that can absolutely do it.
What really matters, though, is this.
Corey, it's finally been addressed. With Wicked flying into theaters later this month, the world of Oz is on everybody's brain. One of the strangest pop culture legends surrounding the original 1939 movie, The Wizard of Oz, is how Pink Floyd's classic The Dark Side of the Moon magically seems to sync up with what's happening on screen.
It sure does.
During his appearance on The Tonight Show, starring Jimmy Fallon, David Gilmour addressed the rumor, and if the band actually planned their famous album matching The Wizard of Oz. Was it on purpose, he was asked? Well, of course it was, Gilmour said. And then he just shook his head. We listened to it, Polly and I, years ago. That's his wife. There was no planning that out. I only heard about it years later. Gilmour told Fallon exactly how to watch The Wizard of Oz to see the coincidental moments that appear in the film. On the 3rd roar of the MGM Lion, you put the needle on the record for the beginning of The Dark Side. And there are strange synchronicities that happen. I've never done that still.
I've done it multiple times.
I never have.
It is, if they're truly telling the truth, and Pink Floyd is going to go to the grave and maybe beyond saying, we never did it on purpose. They've, I think in the past said, or somebody's hinted that they didn't think they had the technology at that point to do it. I don't know if I believe that. They had a watch, right?
Yeah.
They can time things.
Yeah.
You had to flip the record and everything, though, man.
Yeah.
True.
You know what I mean?
True. But even you could be a second or 2 off, right? If you hustled. My point is there are so many coincidences that it's almost too many to be a coincidence, right? If it was just a couple, you'd say, well, that's just really strange timing. If you've done it before, there are so many. Now, some of them you're like, well, that kind of fits. So you're definitely doing confirmation bias, right? You're trying to fit some things in to go, well, what about that? Well, what about this? But like when Lunatic on the Grass starts and the scarecrow falls into the grass,
Incredible.
You're going,
and
that's exactly.
All the bells go off and the color starts.
The song Money starts exactly when she walks from black and white to color. Like that, and that was crazy expensive. You're like, man, all these. There's
a whole album.
Oh yeah, Dark Side of the Moon. It's super famous.
How did someone figure this out to start with?
That's the other question: is
correct.
How do you accidentally figure this out? That it's because otherwise, if you're off by 10 seconds, you would have never had those things happen.
But somebody would have had to have done they had to have planned it, and then it leaked out somebody, and they tried it, and then word spread.
I want them
nobody's just sitting there trying albums, watching that movie.
Like there's a lyric. It's something like "raise the blade, make the change," and you're like, "What does that even mean?" And that's when they jump those guards right outside of the castle, and the blades are waving back and forth, and then they change into their clothes, and you're like, "Well, what the hell do the lyrics 'raise the blade, make the change' mean?" Unless you're talking about that scene.
Correct.
There's so many of those that make no sense out of context. So, look, I've been saying this forever. I think when Pink Floyd is all dead, when every single one of them is dead, they have some kind of a thing in a will that's going to say, when we're all gone, you can finally say, of course we did it on purpose.
Yeah.
You can't do that accidentally. Yeah. And then it's even more genius. It's one of the great albums of all time on its own. Yep. And then when you realize they might have planned every lyric, every song, timed every heartbeat. Right? The fact that the album starts and ends with the same sound effect kind of hints that they might have wanted it to continue. Right? That they want the end of the album to somehow sync right back with the beginning of the... There's just so many things.
I had never heard about this.
Really?
Yeah,
that's weird to me.
That's amazing. I find that more amazing than the actual thing syncing up.
Yeah, same.
Hawk,
You've never heard of
we
that.
need a date night, Hawk.
Well, and that's the thing, my main man, Mark Parrish, is it's been done for you on YouTube. Grimmer.
Yeah.
So, so it's already synced up. All you got to do is go on YouTube and look it up and watch the whole thing happen, which would be fun. That'd be fun to do that.
I got a flight tonight.
Yeah, do that.
Yeah, it's kind of crazy.
How long is it?
It's the whole movie.
It's the whole movie.
God, I got to watch the whole thing.
Yeah, and you have to watch it
Well, you get to listen to
on
the
mute,
record.
right? You get to listen to Pink Floyd's album about, 2.5 times through or something. Like, I forget exactly how many times through it you go.
So
All
it
your
just
hands
keeps
up.
going.
It may have been taken off of YouTube because of copyright. Oh, no, it's right here. Wow. Yeah, it's an hour and 41 minutes.
Yeah.
And like the Wicked Witch part, all of it.
There's so many things. Well, one of my first jobs as an intern here at the Power Trip Morning Show.
Taking care of Abbott.
Was
taking care of business.
He was in hospice. I nursed him back to health.
He
Look
got
at him.
better.
He's still with us in
No wonder you're
2024.
still working here.
No, but we were talking about it on the air, and Chris and Star were like, why don't you do it again? Because I had already done it a couple of times with friends. And take notes. And do you remember the number? I forget how many I came up with, but it was like 100 things synced up.
Right on the... Wow.
So again, some of them I probably forced, or I'm like, oh, that kind of makes sense. But some of them just blow your mind. You're like, that cannot be a coincidence. Can't be.
And so this guy, it was recent that he was on?
Yeah. Was this... was
Gilmore, this happened. Yeah, but let's say it says the theory of the Dark Side of the Moon Wizard of Oz connection became widespread in the 90s thanks to journalist Charlie Savage, who wrote about the phenomenon of certain lyrics and sounds from the album syncing up with scenes in the classic Judy Garland film. The band members have said they didn't do it on purpose, and that when they were recording the album, there was no ready means of reproducing the film in the studio, which seems persuasive. He told Mojo in 2023. But I've never thought it was I have never thought that it was intentional, and I don't think it's necessary for this oddity to have been created on purpose to enjoy it. In fact, in some ways, it's more interesting if it just happened. And that I would agree with that.
I
That's
love that point, that it is unbelievable if it just happened.
But
one of the all-time indictments, though, Mike Grimm, are you familiar with the album Dark Side of the Moon by Pink Floyd? Do you know what the cover of the album is?
I do not.
It's that prism,
the hologram,
where it's a little bit of light going into the prism, and then like the rainbow coming out, kind of like when Dorothy's in black and white, and then goes into
full
color.
Yeah.
So again, if that's an accident as well. Really?
Yeah. I
100%.
They did it on purpose.
Why would they not just admit it?
Why wouldn't they? That's the other question. Why wouldn't they?
But that's why I think they all want to die holding it over us, and then at some point, maybe they have a time capsule where it's 77 years from now. They say, "Yeah, we did it on purpose."
Does it say where this journalist was able to discover this?
No, it doesn't say that, but I bet I can find that out.
Yeah.
But Grimmer, I'm the least conspiracy guy of all time. I'm one of the, you got to prove it to me for me to believe it. There's so much evidence that it just, like, if this was a court trial, I'd be like, I got the bloody gloves, OJ. You're done.
It's over.
The cover of the album is the bloody gloves, but I have 100 more key witnesses that say this thing syncs up.
David Gilmour just wrote a book that said, "If we did it."
Yeah, exactly. And then he explained how they would have pulled this off despite not having the technology. It's so cool. And for the record, I've never done it high or drunk. I've heard it's way better if you do. Every time
Zach says,
which is probably what they were doing when they were producing.
Sure.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Every time I've done it, I was sober trying to say, like, is this real?
I would
and
like
I was
to
still
do this
blown
with you
away.
guys. That'd be fun.
Yeah, let's do it.
It's pretty cool.
in.
Like, we don't use a performance room for anything anymore.
Can we get high here?
I got some lemon lime afterglow. They ain't got to know.
Let's do some more What Really Matters after this. We'll do Wild News after this. Mike Grimm is here. Mark Parrish is here. It's a Wednesday on the Power Trip Morning Show on the Fan.
Harbor and Home and the song Change. Good tune, man.
Hey, Christopher.
Yes, sir.
I have a hypothetical for you that we were just talking about during the break.
Please.
One last thing on Pink Floyd / Dark Side of the Moon. Whether Pink Floyd did it on purpose or not, right? Let's just take that out. Let's just say that everybody knows that at least the rumor exists that they did it. Isn't it a little surprising that somebody in the last almost 50 years now hasn't said, well, whether they did it or not is irrelevant because we can now. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Give me a band and a movie that you think would be awesome. I just threw this out just because it was the first thing I thought. Like if Tool did The Matrix, right, and did what Pink Floyd supposedly did with Wizard of Oz, and just did a soundtrack to The Matrix but made things time out. Give me a band and a movie you would like to see try to pull off the Dark Side of the Moon Wizard of Oz trick.
The Doors, Apocalypse Now.
Yeah.
See where you're going with that. And Sauce, don't say like OMC does Forrest Gump.
Yeah, that would be great. I would love that.
Milli Vanilli does Schindler's List.
Whoa. I'm being serious. Tool is weird enough to do it, right?
Tool
they would think of doing it.
Tool would be amazing.
They would be amazing.
I think that's the number one band.
It'd have to be a band like that, like Radiohead. You know what I mean? Like
Radiohead's a good answer as well. Because you have to be weird and
the
eclectic
jam band feel.
and
You gotta
8 to
have some
10 minute songs.
instrumentals. Yep, exactly.
Sure.
Yeah, it would have to be Tool.
Radiohead's a good answer though as well.
Yeah.
What about Rise?
Yeah, we could pull it off, but it'd have to be a snuff film.
Yeah, it'd have to. Yeah.
Well, now I'm a little scared to ask this question, but what movie would Fouki do?
Oh, well.
Ladybugs.
You already
It'd be a short film, probably.
Yeah.
And who else? Who are we forgetting?
Who else is smart?
Yeah.
You two would try. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't think I would want to listen to that though. That's,
If Freddie was still around, I would say Queen.
Yeah, that would be a great answer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
I don't know. I think the front runners are Tool and Radiohead.
Yeah.
Two good answers. All right, should we do more of What Really Matters?
Absolutely.
All right, wild news presented by Catalyst Supply and CatalystSupplyCo.com. Thanks, Catalyst.
Thank you, Catalyst.
Great dudes, by the way, at Catalyst. Like those guys. Nice guys. They host Montreal tomorrow, Parrish. The Minnesota Wild do.
Yep.
10-2-3 are the Wild. Still one of the best records in the NHL.
They are.
Montreal 5-9-2.
Yes, Montreal's struggling a little bit, but last I checked, Cole Caulfield is leading the NHL in goals right now. They're a young team. They're going to make a bunch of defensive mistakes. They're going to give up a ton of opportunities, but they can score. They got a bunch of skill up front. Their power play is really good. You still got to be very careful with them. But again, it's a team just like Chicago, just like San Jose before. And Chicago was a blip. The NHL schedulers have known forever. The union's brought it up so many times that you can only play so many games in a month without your mind and body just kind of shutting down. And the good thing about Chicago, everybody was exhausted at the exact same time, and now you get to rebound. And as I was watching that, as we were working that game, I remember telling Audra, like, boy, do I feel bad for Montreal. Because they're going to get back home, and they're going to be ticked off that they gave up a point to Chicago.
You're going to the NHL Network tomorrow?
I am.
Then let's test you. Let's see if you're ready for national TV.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Cole Caulfield is tied for the lead in the NHL with goals. He has 12 with two other National Hockey League players. Who are the other two guys that have 12 goals?
Reinhart?
That is one.
That's got to be Kucherov.
He has 11.
Oh, he's been at 11 for a while.
Kucherov's got 11.
So
national TV.
Early in the year, there's so much jockeying for position. God dang it! I'm mad Matthews is hurt.
Yeah.
Who am I not thinking of?
I don't know if the NHL Network should fly you out and give you a Uber in a hotel. You can't even think of the other guy.
I also have my iPad in front of me with all these stats.
Not with this knowledge.
Caulfield, Reinhart, and
not Kucherov. Who the heck else is really hot right now?
Hansel. He's so hot right now.
Hansel is hot.
I'm blanking.
Leon Draisaitl.
Dang it.
What really matters is this.
I was going to say Draisaitl.
Yeah, Hawk knew
You
that.
had-
Yeah,
he
of
had
course. Yeah.
I had it. I didn't want
I don't know
to
how you held
big
back
man,
and
the
didn't
big
just
German
burst
beast.
it out.
Yeah, I didn't want to
Kucherov is a good guess, though.
Yeah.
Just didn't want to blow it.
Hawk didn't
He's
want
been
to
stuck at
embarrass
11 then for a while.
Yeah, thank you. Researchers are suggesting a new treatment for post-traumatic stress disorder. A recently published peer-reviewed study out of Israel says hyperbolic oxygen therapy helps to significantly reduce typical symptoms of PTSD. Those may include, but are not limited to, flashbacks, nightmares, and severe anxiety. It's estimated that roughly 20% of people who experience a traumatic event in their life will develop PTSD. That's especially true in regions impacted by conflict or war. So, again, hyperbaric oxygen therapy.
Yeah, I've done it.
Yeah?
Is that right?
Yeah, hyperbaric chamber. Yeah, I love it. I do that at my neurologist at Doc Schmo's.
Oh, the thing where you were doing the VR stuff?
Yeah. No, it's amazing. Yeah, because the pressure, just gets a ton of oxygen into your blood cells, white blood cells, and I feel better. I feel much better. I kind of feel like if I feel a little foggy from for whatever reason with my head. Anytime I go in there, I walk out of there feeling way better.
Those things are pretty cool. My buddy Mike in the 90s used one. He was a professional singer and dancer and would sleep in a hyperbaric chamber.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yep.
He had one of those back then? That's
Sure did,
sweet.
yeah.
Whatever happened to it?
He's no longer with us. He died in 2009.
Ooh.
That's too bad.
That's sad.
He had a monkey named Bubbles.
Yeah.
And
you knew somebody that had a monkey?
He had some bubbles
moonwalked.
named Monkey.
He moonwalked.
Yeah.
That is a miracle.
No,
I
it's just a cool
didn't.
dance.
No.
I think
I didn't have
Cousins
anything
has one
else
of
to
those,
add, so I
Yeah,
made
no,
a
I know.
pop culture
There's
reference.
actually, there's a lot of hockey players and professional athletes that have them in their home.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Yep.
Dak Prescott is out for the season. He's
How about
having
that?
season-ending surgery. He had a hamstring injury, and now it has to be surgically repaired. They're saying 3 months recovery time, so no concerns about long-term health for Dak Prescott. But how about the fact that he just signed a 4-year, $240 million deal?
Yeah, I think...
Sauce, how much is that a year?
400, say it again?
4 years, $240 million.
It is, let's see here. It is about 200, what'd you say again? 40?
4 years, $240 million.
2 years.
4 years.
4 years, 240 million. It is about...
How about exact?
It's about 61 a year.
That is so weird. I don't know. Where did you get the one?
Come from
60?
It's exactly 60.
Yeah, there's no.
That was a test.
Where did you get the one?
None of your business.
Is there a bonus we didn't mention?
It was a July roster bonus that has been left out.
Does the government pay him taxes?
I don't know.
Yep.
I don't know how I got the one. That was weird.
Accountant as you and I, Hog.
I will. Yeah.
All right, dumb hot sports take that ESPN's going to hammer all day today,
They
Sauce.
probably are right
They
now.
probably are talking about it now. Isn't this the perfect opportunity to see if Trey Lance has anything?
So
don't you just put him in? Even they're already 3-6. It's over.
Yeah.
Cooper Rush is fine.
Yeah,
He's not
but-
a starter. Don't you just say this is why we brought Trey Lance in? Is this season is gone? Let's see if the kid has any sense of playing NFL quarterback. Let's just let him go.
Because if he bombs, you lose out and you get a higher draft.
Exactly. You have nothing to lose. He either shows that he's got something, or you just get a better draft pick and get a quarterback anyway. Put the kid in there.
He came in for 3 plays and then they pulled him. That was it. He came in for a drive and you're like, all right, this is Trey's time. The game's over. They're getting blown out by the Eagles. And then
why did they take Cooper Rush out?
I don't know. And then they put Cooper right back in after 3 plays. It was super weird. Just let the kid play.
Let the kid play.
Right.
Got nothing to lose, Jerry Jones.
Unless he's that bad.
And if he's that bad, great.
Right.
Then it's over for him. What really matters, though, is this.
Okay. Putting LED lights on the bottoms of surfboards might deter attacks from great white sharks.
Really?
And probably look cool.
Yeah, probably cool.
That would be
A
sweet.
new Australian study put LED lights on seal-shaped decoys and found it disrupted sharks from seeing the silhouettes up above them, reducing the attack rates. Sharks appear to rely on visual cues from a dark object against a lighter background when attacking a target. The study was published in the Journal of Current Biology. Currently a run on LED lights from seals all over the world. They're never going to survive unless they get a little crazy.
They got to get a little
LED
crazy.
lights.
Great song.
So far, the problem though is all these LED lights are made from seal blood, so it does distract them temporarily.
Yeah, it's tough. Real tough.
And then,
guys.
why do people go in the ocean, Mike Grimm?
Yeah, right.
Do you know there's sharks in there?
There are sharks.
Have you ever heard the quote by the great Richard Oaknick? Are you familiar with his work? He's a modern philosopher. Basically, he said this, and I want you to live the rest of your life with this mantra. He once said, if there were dinosaurs outside, we wouldn't go play baseball. And what he means by that is the ocean is their territory. Don't go in there unless you expect to get eaten.
Hey, get out of there.
Have you've been to the ocean before, right?
I have. Not often.
Do you know the old test? Like if you put your finger or two in the ocean and then taste your fingers.
Oh.
All right, Star. Do you know if it
Star
tastes
fell.
like salt, then there are sharks in the water?
God, I love cookies.
Do you know that?
I think that's a hell of a test.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Paul, you were going to say something about sharks.
I shagged her.
I've only been up to the ocean in my waist. I can't go out any further.
That was not a good sentence.
I'm afraid to go. I've only gone into the ocean.
I've only been up to the ocean.
In my waist.
Paul?
Yeah.
Paul?
Dude, that is the coolest sentence I've ever heard somebody talk.
Thank you.
I've only been. How did you say? I can't even say it wrong now.
I've only been up to the ocean in my
the
waist.
ocean in my waist.
Wow.
I've only been into the ocean up to my waist.
No, we all knew exactly what you meant. We're just fascinated by the journey to get there.
I'm afraid of it.
Understand a word you just said.
Man,
Are you afraid of sharks?
yeah, all of it.
Yeah.
The ocean's terrifying. We don't know what's in there. We've discovered 10% of it. There's beasts in there.
There probably are.
Beasts.
Like?
Cthulhu and Mancy. I'm going to look that video up again. Sea beasts.
The Kraken.
In the ocean.
While you're doing that, Mike Grimm, Gopher men's basketball tonight hosting North Texas Mean Green. That's their actual name. 7 o'clock, the Gopher basketball team 2-0 after they survived Omaha last Saturday.
Oh!
68-64. Tight one against a team they probably should beat by more than 4.
Yeah, they were. I don't know what the spread. They were bigger favorites. I was not at that game. I was at Rutgers doing Gopher football.
Here's what I did wrong.
Who was on the lead vocals then?
Tanner Hoops.
Tanner Hoops, which is the best name ever for a guy who does basketball play-by-play.
Yeah, he does hockey too.
That would be like Chris Hockey doing the Wild.
Yeah, it would.
That's a lie.
That would be almost exactly like that, in fact.
Very similar.
So, yeah, tonight will be tough. They will not have Mike Mitchell. He sprained his ankle in that win over Omaha. Dawson Garcia, we found out yesterday, has been nursing a groin injury, and he will be questionable.
You just made that up, didn't you?
I did not. I did not make that
made
up.
that up?
That was true. That's as true of a sentence as has ever been uttered.
More accurate than Sauce's sentence about his waist in the ocean?
I would say equals. Those are equal sentences.
Okay.
So it'll be hard. And North Texas has had pretty good luck. They've moved up they're in the American Athletic Conference now. They won 19 games last year, so this will not be an easy one. And for the Gophers, like if you think they're a tournament team or going to be vying for that spot, these are kind of sneaky important games because if you lose 2 or 3 games to teams that are, 150 to 200 or worse, those bad losses you want to avoid come resume time. So they got, 4 or 5 guys out potentially tonight, Minnesota. And then they got Yale, who gave Purdue all they wanted earlier this week on Saturday. So these 2 games are kind of sneaky important. If you think you're a tournament team, you want to avoid bad losses. You got to keep bad losses. And I mean, bad losses, meaning there would be a quad 3 loss probably. Doesn't mean that, oh my God, it's an awful loss. North Texas is salty. I mean,
they're the Mean Green.
They're the Mean Green, man. Mean Joe Green played there.
And if they're salty, there are sharks in the water.
There are sharks. If
Is it true they named it?
Put your finger in your mouth, yes.
Did they really name it the Mean Green after Mean Joe Green?
I was trying to figure that out
Somebody
yesterday.
told me that yesterday.
I think no, but because I think I read yesterday that Mean Joe Green got his name once he got to the Steelers, and then they were already the Mean Green, and they named him that because he played for the Mean Green.
Got it.
Oh, got it.
But then North Texas kind of adopted it as like, yeah, that's we're going to promote that.
I like that it's just not the North Texas Green. I like that it's actually North Texas Mean Green. That's their actual name. I think that's cool.
Yeah, and somebody hasn't come in and said that's too mean to be named the Mean Green.
Not yet.
You got to change that name.
Carly should be here in a little bit. Mark Parrish is here. Mike Grimm is here. News next with Chris Hockey. This is the Power Trip Morning Show on the Fan.
This is Joy Thief, and I'll have another local music on the Power Trip.